Every UK driver needs to hear this. The DVSA has just confirmed major MOT rule changes that could completely transform how your car is tested, recorded, and even approved for the road. These updates aren't small tweaks. They're game changers that could mean the difference between passing your next MOT or being taken off the road entirely. So before your next test date sneaks up, here's everything you need to know, because these new rules will affect you. Welcome to UK Insight Now, your trusted guide for pensions, benefits, and senior living in the UK. Stay informed, stay supported, and enjoy your golden years with confidence. Subscribe now and join the community. Let's start with the big picture. The MOT test is not just a piece of red tape. It's the legal mechanism by which the DVSA ensures your vehicle is safe to drive and doesn't emit excessive pollutants. The changes we're talking about now are not marginal tweaks. They are part of a strategic shake-up, clearing up long-standing issues around fraud, accuracy, and evolving vehicle technology. Here are the key updates that all drivers should be aware of. 1. Photographic evidence and anti-fraud measures. One of the most significant changes is that MOT centers are being asked to take a photo of the vehicle when it's being tested and upload that photo as part of the test record. The goal? To curb so-called ghost MOTs cases, where a pass certificate is issued, even though a vehicle may not have been inspected properly or was never present at the test bay. For you, this means your vehicle may be scanned and documented in more detail than before. For garages, sharper oversight is coming. 2. Updated testing regime for older or historic vehicles. While older vehicles previously enjoyed certain exemptions or less stringent checks, the changes suggest that those days may be shrinking. For example, the concept of vehicles more than 40 years old being exempt is under review. For anyone driving a classic car or modified vehicle, you'll want to check whether your MOT obligations may soon tighten. 3. Expanded technology, connection, and data-driven testing. The DVSA is increasingly using digital connections and data analysis in MOT testing centers, meaning the test isn't just a mechanistic check of lights and tires, but part of a bigger picture assessment of vehicle health, emissions, and compliance. For everyday drivers, this means your car will be scrutinized with stronger tools, so maintenance and record-keeping count more than ever. 4. Earlier booking and renewal flexibility. The DVSA has also highlighted that you can book your MOT up to 1 month before the current expiry date without changing your renewal anniversary. In effect, this gives more flexibility and removes the last-minute rush. That's something worth bearing in mind. Don't leave it until the last week, because test slots may be harder to get and you risk failure that leaves you off the road. Why these changes matter to you? It's one thing picking up the updates. It's another understanding how they translate into real-life consequences for you, your car, and your wallet. Safety and reliability. Every change is ultimately designed to ensure the vehicle you drive is safe, not just for you, but for other road users too. If uninspected or substandard cars are allowed on the roads via outdated or fraudulent certificates, the risks escalate. Cost implications. If your vehicle fails the MOT due to newly emphasized checks, for example on emissions, structural integrity, or digital records, you're likely to face repair bills and possibly being unable to drive until corrected. Also, the pressure on garages to maintain compliance may lead to higher labor costs or stricter pass/fail thresholds. Legal and insurance exposure. Driving a car without a valid MOT or one that has failed is illegal. If you're involved in an accident, insurance companies are increasingly using digital records and test history data to assess claims. With greater data linking between MOT centers and the DVSA, you can expect transparency to increase. Resale and vehicle history values. With more rigorous records, the past of your vehicle becomes more visible. A cleaned MOT history will help resale value. Conversely, a record of failures or amendments may affect value or sale attractiveness. What you should do now, and going forward, prepare now to avoid surprises later. Check your MOT renewal date early. Don't wait for the expiry to loom. If your MOT is due soon, consider booking now and giving yourself time for repairs. Use the 1 month before rule to your advantage. Carry out a pre-MOT inspection. You can do a quick self-check tires, lights, wipers, fluid levels, number plates, visible structural damage. The better maintained your car is, the higher the chance of passing first time. It's far cheaper and less stressful than dealing with a failure. Maintain clear records, keep service receipts, track modifications, and ensure your vehicle's history is transparent. This is particularly important if you own a classic or heavily used car. Don't assume older vehicles are safe due to age. If you're using a vehicle that qualifies under historic rules or has modifications, check if those status quo rules are shifting. It may be easier to pass now, but less so in a few years. Understand what counts as a failure or advisory. Not all issues cause an immediate MOT fail, but advisories, issues that may affect future pass/fail, must be addressed. With digital records tightening, even an advisory may show up in vehicle history. Choose your MOT center wisely. Choose a reputable garage with good reviews and an honest inspection process. With anti-fraud emphasis rising, any center involved in dubious practices may jeopardize your certificate or your record. What this means for drivers of different vehicle types. You may drive a standard family car, a vintage vehicle, or a van. The principles apply across the board, but here's some tailored advice. Family/commuter cars, keep on top of regular servicing. If you've neglected maintenance, the new scrutiny means you're more likely to be caught out. Don't leave it until your MOT fails you. Classic and vintage cars, if your vehicle is over 40 years old and you've assumed relaxed rules, check that assumption now. Emissions, structural integrity, and genuine roadworthiness may come under tighter focus. Company cars/fleet vehicles, businesses need to ensure fleet compliance. With photographic/data evidence being more systematically used, business owners should have clearer records and maintenance logs to back up MOT histories. Heavy-duty/modified vehicles. If you drive a vehicle that has been modified, carries extra load, or has specialist equipment, ensure that modifications are properly documented, compliant and visible at MOT. The regulators are increasingly focused on non-standard vehicles. Common questions and misconceptions. Let's tackle some of the things drivers often assume and where they may get it wrong. My vehicle passed last year, so it will pass this year easily. Not necessarily. Passing previously is no guarantee of future passes. With heightened emphasis on emissions, digital records, and fraud prevention, even cars that were routinely passing may now face stricter scrutiny. Older cars are exempt or treated more leniently. True to some extent historically, but that's changing. The exemption for vehicles over 40 years old or modified vehicles is under review. Plus, age does not exempt you from being legal and roadworthy. The DVSA has specifically flagged tightening around older/historic vehicles. If I fail, I'll just rebook later. Yes, you can, but bear in mind that repairs cost money. You may be off the road. Insurance may not cover you if the vehicle is unroadworthy, and the stress and downtime add up. Better to pass first time. It's just about lights and brakes. How different can it really be? MOT testing now is more than lights and brakes. Emissions, digital data, vehicle history, structural issues, and fraud checks are increasingly part of the equation. If you haven't kept your car in good overall condition, you're more exposed now than in the past. Thanks for watching UK Insight Now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with other seniors who need this info. See you in the next video. Stay well, stay informed.